Hello, everyone, and welcome. And yes, I am now doing podcasts now. Castbox is where you can find all my podcasts. We do, of course, these weekly shows, and then also every Monday a sports show where we talk about stuff around all sports. So, yep, I just released the first episode. It's basically the same thing what we're doing here. Today we're going to be talking about some leaders, streaks, NHL, sports, standings, NHL news, and some upcoming videos. So some upcoming videos, we're going to be talking about, excuse me, and I'm not including the weekly stuff that we do. So some main videos on feedback, I'm going to talk about some different things, and I want your feedback on them. Baseball and football. We're That's it mainly, and then let's talk about some NHL scores that happened yesterday. There's 14 games on yesterday. The Hurricanes beat the Sabres 6-5. The Panthers beat the Penguins 3-2. Islanders beat the Devils 2-1 in a shootout. The Kings beat the Flyers 3-2 in a shootout, and there's a fine that came out of that game. I'll explain that later on. Capitals beat the Avalanche 4-3 in overtime. The Canadiens beat the Jets 5-2. The Senators beat the Ducks 4-0. The Golden Knights beat the Red Wings 4-3. The Blues beat the Lightning 1-0 in overtime. The Predators beat the Stars 3-2 in overtime. The Oilers beat the Wild 4-1. The Blackhawks beat the Canucks 4-3 in overtime. Sharks beat the Flames 5-2, and the Blue Jackets beat the Coyotes 4-2. 9:42 left to go in the third period. The Hurricanes are beating the Rangers 1-0. I'm choosing Carolina to win this game, so hopefully they will do it. Right now the Rangers aren't on any kind of losing or winning streak yet. I take that back. Nope, I actually don't take that back. Some NBA scores from yesterday. Yesterday, the Pacers beat the Clippers 116-92. The Magic beat the Timberwolves 122-112. The Raptors beat the Hawks 101, excuse me. The Lakers beat the Celtics 129-128. Very close game at the end. The Thunder beat the Grizzlies 117-95, and the Trailblazers beat the Spurs 127-118. Today's NBA scores. Right now, the Bucks beat the Mavericks 88-78 in the third quarter. At halftime, the Warriors are beating the Suns 60-53. I'm choosing the Bucks to win this one, and I'm choosing the Warriors to win this one. 12 minutes left to go in the second. The Timberwolves are leading the Pelicans 35. Well, I'm watching this game right now, and it says 38-22, so they obviously haven't updated this yet. Right now, 10:39 left to go in the first. The Heat are leading the Kings 2-0, which I'm sure that's not the score. But anyway, in the New Orleans Timberwolves game, I'm choosing the Timberwolves to win, and I'm choosing the Warriors to win this game. The Miami-Sacramento game, I was going to go with Sacramento, but I ultimately decided on Miami. We have some final scores. Today, the Pistons beat the Knicks 120-103. I chose the Pistons to win that game, and they did. The 76ers beat the Nuggets 117-110. That was the final score. I chose Philadelphia to win that game as well. I wanted Cleveland to win against the Wizards just because of the terrible year Cleveland has had, and I want them to get a win at least sometime before the season ends. 119-106, they got beat. The Chicago Bulls beat the Brooklyn Nets 125-106. So let's take a look at some college basketball. Surprisingly, there's only games from the top 25 matchups today. And now I can't pull up the top 25 matchups. That's weird. I can't pull up the top 25 matchups, so obviously we're going to have to go with the NHL. Or we're going to take a look if the playoffs started today. That's basically what the standings thing's going to be about. Right now, if the playoffs started today, it would be Tampa Bay versus Boston, New York versus Pittsburgh, the Islanders, Toronto versus Montreal, and Washington versus Columbus. I would definitely watch the Toronto Montreal series. Definitely Tampa Bay versus Boston. Here's the Central Division top three: Winnipeg, Nashville, Dallas. If the playoffs started today, it would be Winnipeg versus Minnesota, Calgary versus St. Louis, Nashville versus Dallas, and San Jose versus Vegas. I would definitely be watching the San Jose Golden Knights series. Definitely Winnipeg versus Minnesota, and definitely Nashville versus Dallas. I feel like there's a rivalry brewing between those teams. Dang it, why is my phone doing this? Ah, great. I'm gonna have to end it right